On the next two slides, I'm going to show you some pictures of median income families from 6 different nations: the United States, Iceland, Mali, Bhutan, Thailand, and Kuwait. In other words, these people are statistically average for their countries, and they represent the middle of the socioeconomic range of their national population. They're each going to be pictured outside of the family home with all of their worldly goods displayed around them. And while tallying people's stuff isn't the most scientific way to measure status, the visuals allow us to see what inequalities look like on the ground level in real people's homes. These pictures, which are from Peter Menzel's book Material World, A Global Family Portrait, clearly illustrate some of the most striking inequalities of wealth and power that exist among societies worldwide. How do these drastically different realities arise? So let's compare, for example, the United States and Thai families, the Skeens and the Kunkaus. What are the differences between these families as evidenced by their possessions? The 2 Skeen children have their own bedrooms. The two Kinkau children sleep on one bed covered in a mosquito netting. The Kinkaus own two water buffaloes, several chickens, and a family dog. Their home is surrounded by banana, coconut, mango, and other fruit trees. In contrast, the Skeens have a pet dog and several stuffed deer heads hanging on the wall, trophies of Mr. Skeen's favorite pastime, hunting. The Skeens have 3 radios, 3 stereos, 5 telephones, 2 televisions, a VCR, a computer, and 3 vehicles. Remember that this was 1995. The Kinkaus own 1 radio, 1 black and white television, a recently purchased handheld video game that the children and parents enjoy playing, and their most valued possession, a motor scooter. Similar comparisons may be made between the Natoma family in Mali, the Numgai family in Bhutan, the Thordrosen family in Iceland, and the Abdullah family in Kuwait. The younger Mrs. Natoma from Mali carries water from the village well in a bucket balanced on her head. The Abdullahs have a private indoor swimming pool. The Thordrosens enjoy weekend trips to the hot springs in their town in Iceland. The Numgais own little and live near a Buddhist monastery where monks chant daily for peace. Remembering that each of these families is average compared to their compatriots, these photographs reveal stark contrasts between the world's wealthiest citizens in places like the United States and Kuwait and its poorest people in countries like Mali and Bhutan. These families represent vastly different lifestyles and life chances resulting from very different economic and social conditions. Imagine yourself in their place. What are the real meanings of terms like rich and poor, and how do sociologists define and apply them? These family photos provide us a place to start. In this unit, we're going to be examining the phenomenon of stratification that occurs in all human societies, our own included. Despite claims about equality of opportunity for all, America is a profoundly hierarchical society, with the benefits and rewards of living here unequally distributed among its people. A sociological perspective on stratification will increase your understanding in several important ways. First, it will help you recognize inequities in places you may have overlooked, such as your own town, neighborhood, or school, and in the media. Second, it will help you consider how social divisions and hierarchies of privilege and disadvantage appear across many of our institutions. Access to health care, the justice system, employment, and housing are all governed by structures of inequality. Third, it should enable you to identify your own place in these social arrangements and to see how some of your own life chances have been shaped by your position or your family's position in certain hierarchies. Finally, a knowledge of stratification may help you play a role in changing systems of inequality. Look for ways that you can alleviate some of the problems that social inequality causes. If you can have an impact, even a small one, then this unit will not have been in vain. Social stratification in one form or another is present in all societies. This means that members of a given society are categorized and divided into groups, which are then placed in a social hierarchy. Members may be grouped according to their gender, race, class, age, or other characteristics, depending on whatever criteria are important to that society. Some groups will be ranked higher in the social strata or levels, while others will fall into the lower ranks. The higher level groups enjoy more access to the rewards and resources within that society, leaving lower level groups with less. This unequal distribution of wealth, power, and prestige results in what we call social inequality. We find several different systems of stratification operating in the United States, where it is not hard to demonstrate that being wealthy, white, or male typically confers a higher status, and all that goes along with it, on a person that does being poor, non-white, or female. Because social inequality affects a person's experience so profoundly, it is worthwhile to examine how stratification works. There are 4 basic principles of social stratification. First, it's a characteristic of society rather than a reflection of individual differences. For instance, if we say that in Japan, men rank higher in the social hierarchy than women, this doesn't mean that a particular woman, such as an actress or a singer, couldn't attain a higher status than a particular man. It means only that in Japan as a whole, men rank higher. Second, social stratification persists over generations. In Great Britain, a child inherits not only physical characteristics such as race, but also other indicators of class standing, such as a regional accent. It's because of this principle of stratification that wealthy families remain wealthy from one generation to the next. Third, while all societies stratify their members, different societies use different criteria for ranking them. For instance, the criterion in industrialized nations is material wealth or social class. But in hunter-gatherer societies, such as Khoisan Bushmen in southern Africa, it's gender. Fourth, social stratification is maintained through beliefs that are widely shared by members of a society. In the United States, it is still common to think that people are poor not only because of the existing class structure, but also because they have somehow failed to pull themselves up by their bootstraps.